Megangim Megatambaram Sabashivarudham Param Karnalambe Jugmabhajam Munjasrajam Bhishanam Bhamadurdakaram Vijay Narashira Khargancha Sibyetari Tanabhiti Bimuktakesha Nichayam Mande Sadakalikam. Tonight is Kali Puja, Diwali. Very auspicious night. Millions and millions of people in India as well as all over the world observe Diwali, the festival of lights. Tradition says that it is Rama, after killing Ravana, the evil, came to Ajodhya to receive Rama. This festival of lights started. Today is new moon, no completely dark. Our hearts must be illumined. That Sri Ramakrishna blessed on the 1st of January to his disciples, be illumined. When the place is dark, we do not like darkness. Sometimes I give this illustration. When there is fireplace, we see light and we get heat. The more we are away from the fireplace, we find cold. We find darkness, ignorance. Light. What is the light? This question arose in the Brihadaranyaka Upanishad. Kim Jyotihi? What is the light? Surya Jyotihi. Yajnavalkya answered. The light is in the sun. With the help of that sunlight, we function. When the sun sets, where is the light? Chandra Jyotihi, moonlight. When moon sets, what is the light? Agni Jyotihi, fire is the light. When there is no sun, no moon, no fire, what is the light? Shabda Jyotihi, sound has the light. How do you know? You are my neighbor. Think of that. There is completely dark. We cannot see anything. But you are shouting, help, help, help. Hearing that sound, I can go to your house. Shabda Jyotihi. Sound has tremendous light. When it's all gone, where is the light? Atma Jyotihi. Light is the Atman, consciousness, which is within us. To see that light is the goal of human life, is the goal of spiritual life. So this Kali Puja opens that light in our heart. This symbol of Kali is very much misunderstood, especially in the Western world. They do not know what Kali is. I shall read from the Gospel of Ramakrishna. Sri Ramakrishna is explaining Kali to Keshav Chandra Sen. Before I go there, first let me explain the symbol of Kali. You see, in Christianity, in Islam, in Judaism, all religions have one problem. Do you know what is the problem? Good and evil are two different things. Satan and God. Fight. God and Satan. God is good and evil. They could not reconcile it. They think two different things. Vedanta reconciles it. How? Through this symbol. Let me give an example. Same Shakti manifest in bad way and good way. Fire cooks food for your hungry stomach, that fire can burn your house. Same fire. Same water current. When it is high tide, we call it good. When it is low tide, we call it bad. Same water. The current is changing. Shakti. This avidya, Shakti, has two departments. Vidya Shakti, avidya Shakti. Vidya Shakti is good power, which diverts our mind toward God. Avidya Shakti, bad power. Push to the worldliness. Same Shakti is working. You are a good driver, driving home safely. You are drunk. From a restaurant, you are driving car, you can perhaps kill yourself, you can kill others. Car is not responsible, you are responsible. You diverted your Shakti in the wrong way. All in the world you will find same Shakti. The force is moving two directions. This mother's worship diverts our mind towards the mother. Shakti moves. Where does the Shakti come from? Brahman. From that cosmic consciousness. Is Brahman and Shakti different? Sri Ramakrishna will tell us. No. As fire and its burning power, you cannot separate. Milk and its whiteness, you cannot separate. So Brahman and Shakti, mother, are identical. This whole creation is nothing but Divine Mother's play. The Shakti manifests from Brahman. Birth, death, creation, preservation, destruction, all in the domain of this Maya, Shakti. That Shakti is called Kali, Durga, Divine Mother, or Ishvara, whatever you gave the name, doesn't matter. All in the domain of Shakti. That we worship. Western people, how do they function? Energy. Look, America is a great country. Why? How? Their energy diverted to this manifestation of this materialistic civilization. Wonderful. In India, same Shakti has been diverted to manifest that spirituality. It is all play of Shakti. The symbol of Kali, how the Hindus reconcile the good and evil. I was reading now this book, Siddhanta. Who is Kali? I shall give you a little bit about the symbol of Kali. Here some people think, oh, it is terrible, a naked woman with disheveled hair, what is this? It is all symbol. Meghavarno, dark complexion. Why? When you go to the ocean, I sometimes stand and see the blue Pacific. The ocean, there is no color, but the distance it looks blue, dark. So Mother is infinite. So it looks dark complexion. Mukta Keshi, her hair are not tied, disheveled hair. Each hair is one jiva, individual soul. So all these billions of people, all are in the Mother. It is a symbol. With this hair, she can bind you and she can release you. It is all in her power. If you want liberation, Mother, please release me. I do not want to play anymore in this world. Please. Out of compassion, she can release you, give liberation. Whatever you ask, Mother will give you. Of Buddha, worldly prosperity, or divine illumination, whatever you want. Trinayana, three eyes. The three eyes represent sun, moon, and fire. Another example, she knows past, present, future. However, she knows everything. Karna Bhushan, little child that is her hearing ornament, that means Shishu Shabab Sadhak. Only simple-hearted spiritual aspirants can reach God, can reach the Mother. Smita Mukhi Nityanandamayi. All is blissful. She is the creator. She has protruding breast. That means she is the laloita, paloita. As the mother, when child is born, milk comes in her breast, she feeds the baby. So mother's breast very protruding, well developed. That means she can nourish her all children. It is all symbols. Sometimes she looks terrible. That means she can destroy also. Lulu Jiva, open tongue. Red color of the tongue is the symbol of Rajaguna. And white teeth is Sattva-guna. Control your Rajas by Sattva. That is the symbol. Mundamala, there are 50 skulls are there, which is the garland around the neck of the mother, you can see. What does it represent? 50 syllables, 50 letters of Varnamala, means sound. Ka, ka, ga, ga. In Sanskrit, there are 50 syllables that means the all words or sound came from the mother. Dukhin kare bor bara bhaya. Right side, lower right hand, bora. He is giving boon. She is giving boon. And upper hand, abhaya. Don't be afraid. Be fearless. That is right side. Left side, Gyanu Khargu and the head. That is the sword of knowledge. She can cut all the bondage at any time. Mundo. Mastak means when he gives the knowledge of the truth, Brahman. Chandardo Chura, she has a crescent on her head. That means she can give liberation, Nibbana, Mokshadatri. Digambari, no cloth. Why? She is infinite. All 10 sides are her cloth. Infinite cannot be covered. Mother is infinite. Around her waist you can see fingers. That means all karmendriyo, organs of actions. Mother kalpante. These all actions, this activity of this whole universe merge during the time of final dissolution. Anyway, and what is about Shiva? She is standing on Shiva. You see, Shiva is pure consciousness. Shiva cannot do anything without Shakti. And Shakti cannot do anything without Shiva. Without consciousness, your sense organs will not function. It depends upon consciousness. And consciousness, pure consciousness cannot function without Shakti. We need body, mind, organism. Otherwise you cannot function. So now you understand what this Kali image is. It is the good and evil reconciled. As I said, same water current, high tide, good, low tide, bad. Same fire, cooks food for me, good. Same fire burns my house, bad. So good and bad are difference of degrees, not in kinds. Same Shakti. It is all play of Shakti. In Western people, they diverted their Shakti for the Abhuddhaya, prosperity of this world. So you see all the prosperity in the Western world. But this materialism cannot make a person happy. Do you know why? Selfishness enters. Anyhow, that is one story. Now let me read when Keshav Chandra Sen asked Sri Ramakrishna, who is Kali? I first told you the symbol. Keshav, with a smile. You will have to understand Keshav means what. It is 27th October, read, same day. H2. 27th October, H2, we got the same day. Keshav Chandra Sen, Thakur was going with Keshav, a boat trip. His son-in-law was the Maharaja of Tripura. He brought a big steamboat. And Sri Ramakrishna loved that steamboat, it rolls and I want to jug sound, So Sri Ramakrishna went for a boat trip on the Ganges. From Dakshineshwar, it will go to Calcutta. So Thakur got inside the boat. It is very interesting. Those who have Gospel of Ramakrishna, please read it. It will be very funny. Then Keshav asked, you will have to understand, Keshav does not believe God with form. He is a Brahmo. And Sri Ram, he was convinced that there is a Shakti, play of Shakti. Then, and seeing Sri Ramakrishna's devotion, renunciation, samadhi, Keshav's life was changed. One day Keshav took Sri Ramakrishna in his room, in his shrine, and worshipped his feet, closing the door, and told him, please don't tell it to anybody. See, he understood who Sri Ramakrishna was. Anyhow, listen. Keshav, with a smile, describe to us, sir, in how many ways Kali, the Divine Mother, sports in this world. Master, with a smile, oh, she plays in different ways. It is she alone who is known as Mahakali, Nitya Kali, Smashana Kali, Raksha Kali, and Shama Kali. There are 32 kinds of Kali, according to Tantra. Mahakali and Nitya Kali are mentioned in the Tantra philosophy when there are neither the creation nor the sun, the moon, the planets, and the earth, and when darkness was enveloped in darkness. Then the Mother, the formless one, Mahakali, the great power, was one with the Mahakala, the Absolute. Shamakali has a somewhat changer aspect and is worshipped in the Hindu households. She is the dispenser of boons and the dispeller of fear. People worship Rakshakali, the protectress, in times of epidemic, famine, earthquake, drought, and flood. I remember in our village, in the springtime, they will do Kali Puja. Do you know why? Mother, don't bring smallpox and cholera in our village. Cholera and epidemic, smallpox. Mother, don't bring that. All Hindus will go and worship. In the springtime, in our village, I used to go and attend that Kali Puja whole night. Smashana Kali is the embodiment of the power of destruction. She resides in the cremation ground, surrounded by corpses, jackals, and terrible female spirits. From her mouth flows a stream of blood. From her neck hangs a garland of human heads, and around her waist is a girdle made of human hands. After the destruction of the universe, at the end of a great cycle, the Divine Mother garners the seeds for the next creation. She is like the elderly mistress of the house, who has a hodgepodge pot in which she keeps different articles for household use. All laugh. Do you know what that means? In household, in our part of the village, we used to see kumror bichi, the seed of the pumpkin, shoshar bichi, the seed of the cucumber. Different seeds in household, they would put some earthen pots and save it. At the time of the proper season, they will put that thing and then all this pumpkin and all these vegetables, even rice, they have a paddy. They keep all kinds of seeds. But in a household, you will find the housewife keep all seeds in the house. So the Divine Mother, after the final destruction, she keeps all seeds. So the next creation will come from that seed. Is it not imagination? There is a mantra in the Rig Veda. Surjo chandramasau dhata jata purvam akalpayat. Surjo, sun, moon, chandra, dhata, vidhata, jata purvam. As it was done in the previous cycle, in the next cycle, he brings whole thing again back. Who knows, in previous cycle, perhaps we are in the same room talking about Kali. Who knows? Oh, yes. Housewives have pots like that, where they keep sea foam, blue peels, small bundles of seeds, of cucumber, pumpkin and gourd, and so on. They take them out when they want them. In the same way, after the destruction of the universe, my Divine Mother, the embodiment of Brahman, gathers together the seeds for the next creation. After the creation, the primal power dwells in the universe itself. She brings forth this phenomenal world and then pervades it. In the Vedas, creation is likened to the spider and its wave. The spider brings the wave out of itself and then remains in it. God is the container of the universe and also what is contained in it. Do you know what this means? He's talking, it is in the Mundaka Upanishad. Jaturno navi srijate grinate ja jada pritibhyam oshadayo sambhavanti tata sambhavati avisham. Yata sata purushat kesha lomani. Do you make any effort to grow your nail and hair? No. It comes spontaneously. So this creation comes spontaneously from that Brahman. Jato Urnavi Srijate Grinnate cha. Urnavi means spider. If you see in the corner of the room, you can see a cobweb. This cobweb came from its own body. And then it traps all the mosquitoes and all spiders and that they eat. So it came from its own body. So whole creation came from the womb of the mother. Jato urnavi srijate grinnate cha jata pritibhyam oshadayo sambhavanti. Corn, crops, rice, they grew from this earth spontaneously. As spontaneously we grow nail and hair. You do not make any effort to grow nail and hair. I do not know, Botox cannot grow hair. So that is the way Mother creates. Just it is her play. In Brahma Sutra, do you know what do they say? Lila bhattu lokavattu lila koi ballam. This lokavat, as human, they see in the human plane, the lila, the divine play, God plays. Similarly, this creation comes, it is all play of God. This is all playground of the mother. Mother wants that her children should play. When you are tired, exhausted, you do not want to play anymore. Mother, I don't want to play anymore. All right, get liberation. Is Kali my Divine Mother of a black complexion? She appears black because she is viewed from a distance. But when intimately known, she is no longer so. The sky appears blue at a distance. But look at the close by. Look at it close by, and you will find that it has no color. The water in the ocean looks blue at a distance. But when you go near and take it in your hand, you find that it is colorless. The master became intoxicated with divine love and sang, Is Kali, my mother, really black? The naked one of blackest hue lights the lotus of the heart. And the master continued, Bondage and liberation are both her making. By her Maya, worldly people become entangled in woman and gold, and again, through her grace, they attain their liberation. She is called the Savior and the remover of the bondage, and binds one to the world. Then the Master sang the following song in the melodious voice. In the world's busy marketplace, O Shama, thou art flying kites. High up, they soar on the wings of hope, held fast by Maya's string. Their frames are human skeletons, their skill sails of the three gunas made, but all their curious workmanship is merely for an ornament. Sometimes one of the kites are cut. We give hat chapuri. Great, you cut the kite. In Calcutta, from the roof, they play with the kites. I shall cut yours, you cut mine. I remember, from the roof of our Advaita Ashram, we used to catch a lot of kites. We did not play, but we used to get a lot of, because we have 5 floors, high roof. We used to get a lot of things. The Master said, the Divine Mother is always playful and sportive. This universe is her play. She is self-willed and must always have her own way. She is full of bliss. She gives freedom to one out of 100,000. A Brahma Jyoti. But sir, if she likes, she can give freedom to all. Why then has she kept us bound into the world? Master, that is her will. She wants to continue playing with her created beings in a game of hide and seek. The running about soon stops if in the beginning all the players touch the granny. If all touch her, then how can the game go on? That displeases her. Her pleasure is in continuing the game. Therefore, the poet said, out of 100,000 kites, at best, but 1 or 2 break free, and thou dost laugh and clap thy hands, O mother, watching them. If you touch the mother, game is over. You are liberated. But mother does not want. Hey, she will create your desire. Go, enjoy. Get entangled with Maya, children, grandchildren. Maya, caught. That is the way. Sadhu has also caught by Maya. I shall do good to humanity. That is also Maya. Vidya Maya, are bound. It is all the Divine Mother said the human mind is in confusion with a sign from her eye. Go and enjoy the world. How can one blame her grace? She makes it turn towards herself. Only then does it become devoted to the lotus feet of the Divine Mother. The Master continued, may not deluded through her Maya and have become attached to the world. Ramprasad said, thou hast bestowed on me this mind, and with a knowing wink of thine eye, bidden it at the same time to go and enjoy the world. Brahma Jabuji, sir, can't you realize God without complete renunciation? Another topic started. Now we shall go another side. Sri Ramakrishna's vision of Kali. He did not have the God realization through practicing spiritual disciplines. His first vision came from longing, yearning, hunger for God. Byakulata Oishwar Darshan, that is the name of the chapter. Longing. You see, Sri Ramakrishna said, before sunrise, what do you see? You see the golden glow in the eastern horizon. What does it indicate? The sun will rise soon. When you have this longing, always remember that your God realization will be very soon. This hunger for God, this hunger does not come. Why? Bhog na hole tyagir ichha hoy na. You have not finished your enjoyment. Until you finish your enjoyment, this desire for God will not come to your mind. Those who come here, time to time, they have desire. You see, if you reach Sri Ramakrishna's Gospel of Ramakrishna, you will see what is called longing for God. Seeing the sitting sun, Sri Ramakrishna used to cry, Mother, another day is gone in vain, thou art not revealed unto me. He used to rub his face on the green grass under the Panchavuchi tree, and the grass would turn red from the blood of his mouth. He demonstrated what is called longing. When you have this type of longing, definitely you will see God. That we find in Sri Ramakrishna. He was praying and complaining, Mother, you revealed to Ram Prasad, Kamalakanta, why not to me? Complaining, crying. Now listen, what happened? I am reading from the Ramakrishnaji Divine Play. It is clear that the Master's steadfastness, devotion and longing attracted the attention of others in the temple compound in Dakshineshwar. People at first ridiculed a person who leaves the usual path trod by the masses and does something new. The more that person moves forward steadfastly towards his goal, however the pure people attitudes become transformed into reverence. This actually happened in the case of the Master's activities at that time. When he continued his noble method of worship, he became an object of derision to some people of the temple, but later others became very respectful towards him. Do you know what he was talking about? He started to worship the Mother as a living being. Did you see when I perform the rituals? I follow the books. Sri Ramakrishna says, Mother, now eat. He will take the food and put in his mouth. Oh, Mother, you want me to eat first and then you will eat. All right, let me eat first. Then he put that food to the Mother's mouth. The temple guards and other people were watching, but it is a sacrilege. Throw him out. It is an unconventional worship. He is seeing Mother is leaving. And they see Mother is an image of the Kali, which is made of a stone. So, complaint went to Mathur, the owner of the temple. He came and watched and he told his mother-in-law, Rani Rashmani, we have got a wonderful worshipper. It seems the goddess will be awakened very soon. In spite of people's criticism, the Master never deviated from his spiritual journey. As the river always flows towards the ocean, so from this point on, the Master's mind continued to move towards the Divine Mother. As the days went by, the Master's love and longing continued to increase. Because of his uninterrupted current of thought towards the Divine Mother, some external signs manifested in his body. His appetite and need for sleep diminished. As blood flowed continually to his chest and head, his chest turned crimson, and eyes were often drenched with tears. He was filled with a constant and intense desire to see the Divine Mother, and he repeatedly asked himself, what shall I do? How can I see her? Signs of anxiety and restlessness were therefore always visible in the body, except when he meditated and performed worship. We heard from the Master that one day, at that time, he was singing to the Divine Mother and praying and crying bitterly. He implored piteously, "Mother, I have been praying to you so long. Why don't you listen to me? You showed yourself to Ram Prasad. Why won't you show yourself to me?" The master described what happened then. There was an unbearable pain in my heart because I could not see. I could not have a vision of the mother. Just as a man wrings out a towel with all this strength to get the water out of it, so I felt as if my heart were being wrung out. I began to think, I should never see mother. I was dying of despair in my despair. In my agony, I asked myself, what is the use of living this life? Suddenly, my eyes fell on the sword that hangs on the mother's shrine. I decided to end my life then and there. Like a madman, I ran to the sword and seized it. Then I had a marvelous vision of the mother and fell down unconscious. Afterwards, what happened in the external world, or how that day and the next passed, I don't know. But within me, there was a steady flow of undiluted bliss that I had never before experienced. And I felt the immediate presence of the Divine Mother. On another occasion, the Master narrated to us in detail the same wonderful vision. It was as if the room, doors, temples, and everything else vanished altogether. As if there were nothing anywhere. And what I saw was an infinite, shoreless ocean of light. That ocean was consciousness. However far and in whatever direction I looked, I saw shining waves, one after another, coming towards me to swallow me up. They were madly rushing towards me from all sides with a terrific noise. Very soon, they were upon me and they pushed me down into unknown depths. I panted and struggled and lost consciousness. Thus the Master told us that during his first vision, he saw a shining ocean of consciousness. But was this pure consciousness, the Divine Mother Kali, bestowing boons and fearlessness? Did the Master see her in that ocean of light? It seems that he did. We heard that when he partially regained his consciousness after the first vision, he uttered plaintively, "Ma, Ma, Mother, Mother." When this vision ended, an incessant violent urge for a constant uninterrupted vision of the Divine Mother's luminous form arose in the Master's heart. Although this longing did not always manifest itself externally, through signs such as weeping, it remained in the heart all the time. Sometimes it would increase to such a point that he could not contain it anymore, restlessly rolling on the ground and with agony. He would pray, "Mother, be gracious unto me, reveal yourself to me." He would cry so bitterly that people would gather around him to watch. He was completely unconcerned about what people might say when they saw him in that condition. He later said, "I scarcely realized the presence of people around me. They looked more like shadows or painted pictures than real objects. And so I did not feel any shame or embarrassment at all. Sometimes I would lose outer consciousness from that unbearable agony. Immediately after that, I would see the Mother's luminous form, bestowing boons and fearlessness. I used to see her smiling, talking, consoling, or teaching me in various ways." Listen. If you have constant visions, your body will not last. Within 21 days, you will be finished. You will be dead. But these divine beings, the divine mother, brings a little bit maya. If there is no maya, your body will disintegrate. So what happens, he brought a little bit mind towards the world. Remember, at that time all selfishness is gone. Only unselfishness prevails in the mind. A desire come, I shall help people. The bliss I got, I must share. I want to share my bliss, whole humanity. That is the reason this avatar, the illumined souls, they come to this world without any motive, without any expectation. Read carefully Sri Ramakrishna's life. You will find how, after realization, how an illumined soul lives in this world. It was, after this vision, it was extremely difficult for him to continue worship. He cannot perform rituals. His nephew, look his testimony, what he said. Earlier in his sadhana, while offering food to the mother, previously during worship and meditation, the master would see the mother's hands or her shining, delicate feet or her beautiful, loving, smiling face. But now, even when it was not the time for worship and meditation, the master would see the complete form of the luminous divine mother, smiling, talking, accompanying him and guiding him by saying, do this, don't do that. When Swamiji said, Sri Ramakrishna said, all those things are, it is all in your mind, your hallucination. Bolish ki re, mama sunge kotha bole. What do you say? Mother talks to me. I asked mother. And you say it is hallucination. You see, anubhuti, realization cannot be counteracted. Earlier in his sadhana, while offering food to the mother, the master would see a flashing ray of light emanate from the mother's eyes, touch the offering food articles, gather their essence, and then would drop back into her eyes. But now, as soon as he offered food, and sometimes even before that, he would see the mother herself seated to eat the food, the luster of her body, pervading the whole temple. Hriday told us, Hriday was Sri Ramakrishna's nephew. Hriday told us that one day he went to the shrine and watched as the master took a hibiscus flower and a bell leaf in his hand to offer at the feet of the mother. He held them and meditated. But then he suddenly cried out, wait, let me say the mantra first and then you can eat. He then offered food to the mother before finishing the ritual. During worship and meditation, the master used to see the living presence of the mother in the temple's stone image of her. Now, he could not see that stone image at all. In its place was the living mother, the embodiment of consciousness, her hands bestowing boons and fearlessness. Later, he described what happened. I put my hand near the mother's nostrils and felt the mother was actually breathing. At night, I watched carefully, but in the lamplight, I could never see her shadow on the temple wall. Always remember, all human beings, if you stand against the light, you will get the shadow. But divine beings could not have any shadow. From my room, I would hear mother running upstairs as merry as a little girl with her anklets jingling. I would rush outside to see if this was true. And there she would be standing on the veranda of the second floor of the temple with her hair blowing the breeze. Sometimes she would look towards Calcutta and sometimes towards the Ganges. One day it so happened, Sri Ramakrishna, you remember when we went to Sri Ramakrishna's room from the main courtyard, the southern veranda? Standing here, he saw mother was on the parapet of the temple. Hey, Bechi, pode jabi, are gosni. You will fall, don't go further. Amazing Sri Ramakrishna's visions. During worship and meditation, the master used towards Calcutta. Hridaya recalled. It is his eyewitness's account. When one entered the Kali temple in those days, one could perceive an ineffable divine presence and feel an eerie sensation, even when uncle was not there, and much more so when he was. I could not resist the temptation of seeing how he acted when he was performing the worship. As long as I was actually watching him, my heart was full of reverence and devotion. But when I left the temple, I would begin to have doubts and ask myself, has uncle really gone mad? Why else would he do such strange things? I was afraid of what the Rani and Mathur Babu would say when they came to hear of it. But uncle was unconcerned and paid no heed to my warnings. I did not venture to speak to him much any longer. My mouth was closed by a fear I can't describe. I felt that there was some kind of barrier between us. So I just looked after him in silence, as best as I could, but I was afraid he would make a scene someday. Sometimes Hridaya would visit the temple during worship. Upon seeing the master's actions, he immediately felt awe, fear, and devotion. Later, he narrated the following to us. I saw uncle taking hibiscus, flowers, and bell leaves in his hand, touching first his head, then his chest, then all over his body, and even his feet, and then finally offering those at the feet of the Divine Mother. It is sacrilege. One should not do that. I saw uncle's chest and eyes become red, like those of a drunkard. He would get up, reeling from the worshipper's seat, climb onto the altar, and caress the Divine Mother, shaking her affectionately under the chin. He would sing, laugh, joke, and talk with her. Sometimes he would catch hold of her hands and dance. I saw how, when he was offering cooked food to the Divine Mother, he would suddenly get up, take a morsel of rice and curry from the plate of his hand, touch the mother's mouth with it, and say, "Eat it, mother, do eat it." Then maybe he would say, "You want me to eat it?" And then he will eat some afterwards. "All right, I am eating it now." Then he would take some of it himself and put the rest to her lips again, saying, "I have had some, now you eat." This is sacrilege. One day, uncle saw a cat at the time of the food offering. It had come into the temple. Mewing, he fed it with the food that was to be offered to the Divine Mother. "Will you take it, Mother?" he said to the cat. He was seeing Divine Mother in everywhere, in every being. Some nights I saw that when uncle put the Divine Mother to bed, he would sometimes ask, "Mother, do you want me to lie down next to you?" "All right, I am lying down." Saying so, he would lie down for some time on the Divine Mother's silver bedstead. You know, I had a desire to see that bedroom of Kali. Nobody is allowed to there. Inside the Kali Mandir, south side, there is a staircase. In the main Garbha Mandira, they'll go and there is a room, small room, silver, the bedstead is silver, big mattress. That is the room, that is their mother sleeps. At least once I have fulfilled my desire to see where mother takes rest. Oh no, outsiders not allowed. Again I saw that While uncle performed worship, he was deeply absorbed in meditation, and he had not the slightest outer consciousness for a long time. Every morning, when he arose, uncle would pick flowers to make garlands for the Divine Mother. At those times, I noticed him talking with someone unseen, laughing, coaxing, and joking. I further saw that at night, uncle did not sleep at all. Whenever I awoke, I found him in an exalted mood, talking, singing, or immersed in meditation in the Panchabhuti. This is the eyewitness's account of Hriday. It was Kali Puja in Dakshineshwar. October 18, 1884, Saturday. It was the day of worship of Kali, the Divine Mother. The worship was to begin at 11 o'clock at night. Several devotees arrived at the temple garden early in the evening. They wanted to visit Sri Ramakrishna during the hours of the night of the new moon. It is in the Gospel. Came from M's diary. He is reporting exactly what he was saying. He says, I have never recorded anything which I have not seen, which I have not heard. Very authentic, this report. M came alone to the garden about 8 o'clock in the evening. He went on. In the afternoon, there is a musical recital of Chonji. Sri Ramakrishna enjoyed it. It was an awe-inspiring night of the new moon. The worship of the Divine Mother added to his solemnity. Sri Ramakrishna was seated on his couch, leaning against a pillow. His mind was indrawn. Now and then he exchanged a word or two with the devotees. Suddenly he looked at him and the other devotees and said, how deep the young man's meditation was. He was talking about the man who sang Chonji anyhow. Sri Ramakrishna sang this song. All creation is the sport of my mad mother Kali. By her Maya, the three worlds are bewitched. Mad is she, and mad is her husband. Mad are her two disciples. None can describe her loveliness, her glories, gestures, moods. Shiva, with agony of the poison of his throat, chant her name again and again. It is a song of Ramprasad. The master was quite overwhelmed with the song. He said, that song like this, though these denoted a state of divine inebriation, is sang one after another. This time I shall devour the utterly, Mother Kali, Mato Mai Khabu. For I was born under an evil star, and one is so born becomes, they say, the eater of his mother. Anyhow, his song he sang different songs of the Divine Mother. Then, 11 o'clock at night, Ramlal, his nephew, will perform the worship. M records. Ramlal entered the room and saluted Sri Ramakrishna, touching the ground with his forehead. Then, with great respect, he touched the master's feet. He was ready to worship the Divine Mother in the temple. Ramlal, please permit me to go to the shrine. The master twice uttered the word, Om Kali, and said, perform the worship carefully. There is also some kind of offering. It was midnight. The worship began in the Kali temple. The master went to watch the ceremony. During the worship, he stood near the image. Several devotees remained in the temple till 2 o'clock in the morning. Haripada came and asked them to take the prasad to the master's room. After finishing their meal, they lay down wherever they could for the remaining remainder of the light. It was morning. Anyhow, that was the Kali Puja we find in the M recorded in the Gospel of Sri Ramakrishna. Next, what happened? Which Katha? November 1885, Sri Ramakrishna developed cancer, came to Shampugur house for treatment. It was a Kali Puja night. Listen. It was the month of November and the auspicious day of Kali Puja, Friday, 6 November 1885, was approaching. There was still no visible improvement of the master's condition. The results that had been achieved when his treatment began were dissipating, and the disease was beginning to take a serious turn. At the same time, it appeared to the devotees the master's spiritual joy and his cheerfulness were increasing rather than decreasing. Dr. Mohendralal Sarkar visited the master frequently as usual. But although he kept adjusting the medication, he did not get the results he expected. He thought that this was due to the change of season and that the master's condition would improve when the winter sets in. Kali Puja night. The devotees advised him to abandon the idea because the excitement and enthusiasm and common surrounding the ritual might exhaust the master. When the devotees expressed, Devendra said, Master, today is Kali Puja, shall we do something? So some devotees discouraged him because his ecstasy will increase and it will aggravate our cancer. Devendra considered the devotee's response reasonable, so he gave up the idea. But the day before Kali Puja, the master told some of his devotees, collect everything that is needed for the worship on a small scale. Tomorrow we shall have Kali Puja. Delighted, they began consulting with the others. Because they received no further instructions from the master, they discussed among themselves various ways of accomplishing their task and could not come to any agreement on whether the worship would have 16 items or 5, whether they would offer cooked food, who would perform the worship, and so on. Finally, they decided to procure sandal paste, flowers, oil lamps, incense, fruits, and sweets, and then await the master's instructions. But the master gave no further directions that day, nor did he on the day of worship. Evening arrived with the sunset. At 7 p.m., the devotees found the master seated silently on his bed. As on other days, he said nothing further about the worship. They cleared some space on his right and placed the worship articles there. Some devotees had seen the master occasionally worship his own form with sandal paste and flowers when he lived in Dakshineshwar. Today they had come to the conclusion the master intended to worship himself as a symbol of universal consciousness and the embodiment of divine power, or to perform the worship of his own self as identified with the Divine Mother according to the scriptures. It is therefore not surprising that they placed the worship articles next to his bed. The master watched them do that, but raised no objection. The master remained silent. When everything had been brought to the room, someone lit the lamps and burned the incense, filling the whole room with light and fragrance. Seeing the master still sitting quietly, the devotees sat near him. Some looked at him intently, awaiting his direction. Some began to meditate on the Divine Mother. Time passed. And the master remained silent. He neither came forward to perform the worship himself, nor did he ask any of us to do it. The young devotees are present, along with Mahendra, Ram, Devendra, Girish, and some senior devotees. The master sometimes said to his devotees, Girish had 125% faith. Most of the devotees were puzzled by the master's silence about the worship. But because Girish had such abundant faith in the master, he was suddenly struck by his idea. The master does not need to worship the Divine Mother for his own sake. If his pure love has inspired him to perform the worship, why would he sit there quietly, doing nothing? That does not seem right. Were these arrangements made for the devotees to worship the Divine Mother in the Master's living form and be blessed? It must be so. He was overwhelmed. Girish was overwhelmed with joy at that time and immediately took flowers and sandal paste from a tray and offered them at the feet of the Master, saying, "Victory to the Mother." A thrill passed through the Master's body and went into deep samadhi. His face became luminous, and the divine smile played upon it. His hands assumed the gestures of symbolizing fearlessness and the bestowal of boons that are seen in images of Kali, thus indicating that the Mother was revealing herself within him. These events happened so quickly that the devotees seated nearby thought Girish had offered flowers after seeing the Master in Samadhi. To those who were a little farther away, it appeared as if a luminous form of the Devi had suddenly appeared before them, taking possession of the Master's body. The devotees' joy knew no bounds. Each one took flowers and sandal paste from the tray, uttered a mantra according to his mood, and worshipped the Master's feet. The room was filled with joyous shouts. Some time passed in this way. When the Master slowly regained partial consciousness, the sweets and fruits gathered for worship were placed before him. He partook of some and blessed the devotees that they might attain the highest devotion and knowledge. They ate some of the Master's prasad. They sang devotional songs and hymns to the glory of the Divine Mother until midnight. Thus the devotees worshipped Divine Mother that year in a unique way and experienced an unprecedented bliss that remained forever vivid in their hearts. And whenever they later became oppressed by difficulties in their lives, that image of the Master appeared before them, his serene face illumined with a divine smile, and his hands bestowing blessings and fearlessness, reminding them that they are under God's protection. Bas. 8 o'clock, my goodness. 1 hour. So tonight, I told you about the symbol of Kali, Sri Ramakrishna's visions, and how devotees saw the Divine Mother in Sri Ramakrishna. Ya Devi Sarvabhutishu Matirupena Samastita Namastasya 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 Namo Namo Jai Ma.